60 seconds ago, the most powerful quantum artificial intelligence ever created finished its calculations on 3I Atlas. What it just revealed about this interstellar object's trajectory could fundamentally alter our understanding of the universe forever. I've been saying this for years, and now the data proves it. What we've just learned is absolutely mind-bending. 3I Atlas is not a normal asteroid. Since its detection in September 2024, I knew something felt wrong. Its speed, its approach angle, the way it reflects light. My colleagues tried convincing everyone it was just an ordinary space rock from another star system, but I looked at the numbers and they never added up. Every classical computer model failed to predict its behavior accurately. So my team did something bold. We fed all the data into a quantum AI capable of processing billions of scenarios simultaneously. The first results dropped 60 seconds ago, and I'm still processing what I'm seeing. 3I Atlas's trajectory is not natural. The AI detected microcorrections in its path so subtle that no human telescope could perceive them. These adjustments occur every 4.7 days with absolute precision. No known natural phenomenon can explain this mathematically perfect regularity. It's as if something is guiding this object, as if something is piloting it through interstellar space with clear intention. But the quantum AI went deeper than I ever imagined possible. It analyzed 3I Atlas's spectral composition using algorithms even I don't fully understand. What it found resembles a technological signature. The object's surface contains isotope ratios that never form naturally. These ratios match exactly with theoretical models of materials created by advanced controlled fusion. The kind of fusion humanity is still trying to master. The kind of fusion a Type II civilization might use to power interstellar vessels. I immediately called an emergency meeting with directors of the world's largest observatories. I showed them a simulation generated by the quantum AI. This simulation predicts where 3I Atlas will head over the next 6 months. The final destination is chilling. The object isn't simply passing near our solar system, it's decelerating. Its micro-trajectory corrections are guiding it toward a stable orbit around our star, as if it's seeking to settle in, as if it's observing us. The implications are staggering, and I've been preparing for this moment my entire career. If the quantum AI is correct, we're not looking at a random interstellar visitor. We might be observing the first confirmed extraterrestrial probe ever detected by humanity. A probe using technology so advanced that it required the most sophisticated artificial intelligence on our planet just to recognize it wasn't natural. Think about what that means. Some civilization somewhere in the galaxy built something so elegant, so subtle, that it can travel between stars disguised as an ordinary space rock. But that's not everything I discovered. The quantum AI detected something even stranger: extremely faint radio emissions coming from 3I Atlas, oscillating at frequencies that appear to carry encoded information. My decryption algorithms are working right now to decode these signals. I'm refusing to comment publicly before I have concrete results, but I can tell you, the patterns don't match any known natural radio source. They're too organized, too deliberate, too intelligent. Here's where it gets truly unsettling, and this is what I've been theorizing for years. The quantum AI cross-referenced 3I Atlas's trajectory with historical data from Oumuamua and Borisov, the two previous confirmed interstellar objects. It found correlations nobody noticed before. All three objects pass through regions of space that align with what we call the galactic habitable zone, the narrow band around our galaxy where liquid water and complex chemistry can exist. I had the AI calculate the probability of this being coincidence. The number it returned was so small, it's essentially zero. We're not dealing with random debris wandering through space. I believe we're witnessing a pattern, a network, perhaps even a highway of artificial objects traversing the galaxy with purpose. The quantum AI suggested something that sounds like science fiction, but emerges from pure mathematics. These objects could be part of a monitoring system, an early warning network established by an ancient civilization to track emerging intelligent species across the galaxy. I've spent years being ridiculed by mainstream astronomy for suggesting Oumuamua might be artificial. My peers called me sensationalist, attention-seeking, unscientific. But quantum AI doesn't care about academic politics or reputation. It only cares about data. And the data is screaming that something extraordinary is happening right above our heads, something that demands immediate attention and resources. I was right to push back against the skeptics. The quantum AI made another discovery that's causing panic in classified briefings I've been attending. 3I Atlas is not alone. By analyzing gravitational microlensing data and comparing it against background star positions, the AI identified at least 17 other objects with similar anomalous characteristics currently in our stellar neighborhood. 17 potential artificial probes, all exhibiting the same subtle trajectory corrections, all heading toward specific destinations within 100 light-years of Earth. We've been swimming in extraterrestrial technology without even realizing it. What makes this godlike is the scale and sophistication involved, and I need you to understand the magnitude of what I'm saying. To build and deploy dozens or hundreds of interstellar probes requires energy expenditure beyond our wildest engineering capabilities. It requires coordination across timescales spanning thousands or millions of years. It requires a level of technological maturity that makes our entire civilization look like we're playing with stone tools. Whatever sent 3I Atlas possesses capabilities that might as well be magic to us. The quantum AI's processing power allowed me to simulate millions of potential origin points for 3I Atlas. I narrowed the source down to a region approximately 700 light-years away near the constellation Cygnus. Interestingly, this region contains several K-type stars known to host rocky planets in habitable zones. Stars that have been stable for billions of years longer than our Sun. Stars where intelligent life could have evolved long before Earth even formed. The probability of life emerging there is remarkably high. But here's the question that's keeping me awake tonight, and I've been wrestling with this for hours. If these probes have been passing through our system for who knows how long, why haven't they made contact? Why the secrecy? The quantum AI offered several hypotheses based on game theory and xenosociology models I helped develop. Perhaps they're waiting for us to reach a certain technological threshold before revealing themselves. Perhaps they operate on timescales so vast that our entire recorded history is just a brief moment to them, or perhaps they've been trying to communicate all along, and we simply lack the capacity to recognize their signals. The most disturbing hypothesis came from the AI's deep learning neural networks, and this challenges everything I thought I knew. What if contact already happened? What if 3I Atlas and objects like it have been influencing human development for millennia in ways we can't perceive? I had the AI analyze statistical anomalies in human technological progress that align with the timing of certain astronomical events. Correlation doesn't prove causation, but the patterns are there. Unexplained jumps in human innovation occurring shortly after unusual celestial observations throughout history. The Renaissance, the Industrial Revolution, the Digital Age, all coinciding with specific astronomical phenomena that we dismissed as random. Right now, I'm coordinating with every major space agency to redirect telescopes toward 3I Atlas. The James Webb Space Telescope is being reprogrammed for extended observation at my request. Radio telescopes from around the world are listening for any signal, any whisper of communication. The Very Large Array in New Mexico, the Square Kilometer Array in South Africa, China's FAST telescope, all of them pointed at this single object, waiting for it to reveal its secrets. I'm working with governments to prepare protocols for what happens if the quantum AI's predictions prove accurate. If 3I Atlas truly settles into orbit around our Sun, if it begins transmitting, if it does something we can't ignore, I addressed my team with words that I believe will echo through history. We are witnessing either the most elaborate natural coincidence in cosmic history, or we are experiencing first contact with intelligence beyond Earth. Either way, nothing will ever be the same. The quantum AI that made this breakthrough doesn't speculate. It doesn't hope or fear. It simply processes reality with computational power that exceeds all human brains combined. And reality, according to the cold mathematics of quantum processors, suggests we are not alone. I've been saying this for years, and now the evidence is undeniable. The data continues pouring in, and I'm analyzing every bit of it. The quantum AI continues refining its models under my supervision. Every hour brings new revelations, new calculations, new reasons to question everything we thought we knew about our place in the cosmos. I'm now examining whether 3I Atlas could be sending information back to its origin point. The quantum AI calculated that if the object possesses even basic communication technology, it could be transmitting compressed data packets using methods we've never considered. Laser pulses modulated at frequencies we don't monitor. Gravitational wave ripples too faint for our detectors. Quantum entanglement communication that bypasses the speed of light entirely. What terrifies me most is how long this might have been happening. I had the quantum AI analyze astronomical records going back centuries. It found references to unusual moving objects that don't match any known comets or asteroids. Objects that appeared, moved in strange patterns, then vanished. Ancient Chinese astronomical records mention strange wandering stars. Medieval European manuscripts describe celestial objects behaving impossibly. Even indigenous oral histories speak of sky visitors that defied explanation. Could these have been earlier probes? Could 3I Atlas be part of a surveillance operation that's been ongoing for longer than human civilization has existed? These are questions I need answers to. The mathematical models I generated with the quantum AI suggest something even more profound. If a civilization wanted to monitor the entire galaxy for emerging intelligence, they would need millions of these probes. They would launch them billions of years ago and let them drift through space, activating only when they detect technological signatures. Radio waves, nuclear detonations, artificial light on a planetary scale, all the things humanity has been broadcasting into space for the past century, we've been announcing our presence to the cosmos without even realizing who might be listening. We might have triggered 3I Atlas ourselves, and this is the theory that keeps me up at night. Our own technology might have acted as a beacon, waking up an ancient machine that's been dormant in our cosmic neighborhood for eons. I calculated when Earth's radio signals would have first reached the region where 3I Atlas likely originated. The timeline matches perfectly with when the object began its journey toward our solar system. Our first radio broadcasts in the 1930s would have reached that region around 2030, just enough time for a probe to wake up, analyze the signal, and begin its journey here. The conclusion is inescapable. Someone heard us. Someone responded. I'm now pushing for an emergency international summit. I want every nation with space capabilities to contribute resources to a comprehensive study of 3I Atlas. I'm calling for the construction of new instruments specifically designed to detect and analyze artificial objects in space. We need better telescopes, better AI, better protocols for what happens when we finally confirm we're not alone. I'm demanding that we take this seriously before it's too late. Before 3I Atlas reaches its destination and we're forced to react instead of prepare. This is not the time for skepticism or bureaucracy. This is the time for unprecedented global cooperation. The quantum AI's final projection sent chills through my entire body when I first saw it. If 3I Atlas continues on its current path and successfully enters orbit around our Sun, it will position itself in a location with perfect line of sight to Earth. A location where it could observe our entire planet continuously. A location strategically chosen to monitor every major continent, every ocean, every sign of human activity. A location where it could remain indefinitely, watching, recording, transmitting everything it sees back to whoever or whatever sent it here. The precision of this positioning cannot be accidental. But there's something else the quantum AI discovered that I haven't shared publicly yet. The object's rotation period is changing. Slowly, deliberately, as if it's adjusting its orientation to optimize observation angles. Natural objects don't do this. Tumbling asteroids maintain consistent rotation. But 3I Atlas is actively controlling its spin. This is perhaps the most compelling evidence yet that we're dealing with technology, not geology. The rotation adjustments correlate with its distance from the Sun, suggesting solar panels or energy collection systems activating as it gets closer to our star. I've also noticed something in the data that the quantum AI flagged as highly unusual. The object's albedo, its reflectivity, changes periodically, not due to rotation bringing different surfaces into view, but uniform changes across its entire visible surface, as if it has adaptive camouflage, as if it's trying to blend in with the background of space. When I first saw this pattern, I had to sit down. This is exactly what you'd expect from a probe designed for covert observation. The quantum AI ran simulations on what materials could produce this effect. The results pointed to metamaterials with programmable optical properties, materials that don't exist in nature, materials that would require nanotechnology beyond anything we've achieved. We're talking about engineering at the atomic level, creating structures that can manipulate light in ways that seem almost magical. This level of control over matter suggests a civilization that's had millions of years to perfect their technology. In 6 months, I'll have my answer. In 6 months, 3I Atlas will either prove to be the most significant discovery in human history, or it will reveal that my models and AI were wrong. But deep down, I know the truth. The quantum AI doesn't make mistakes of this magnitude. The mathematics don't lie. Something godlike in its sophistication is approaching our world, and I'm about to find out why. This is what I've dedicated my life to understanding, and the moment of truth is finally here. Everything I've worked for, every criticism I've endured, every sleepless night spent analyzing data, has led to this moment, and I'm ready for whatever comes next. My team is working around the clock now. We've set up dedicated monitoring stations that track 3I Atlas continuously. Every piece of data gets fed into the quantum AI for analysis. We're looking for any change, any anomaly, any sign that the object is doing something we didn't predict. The tension in the lab is palpable. Everyone knows we're on the verge of something monumental. I've started receiving calls from world leaders. They want to know what I know. They want to understand the implications. I tell them the truth. We might be witnessing the greatest discovery in human history, or we might be watching the beginning of something we're not prepared for. Either way, we need to be ready. We need to have plans in place for every possible scenario. The quantum AI has also been analyzing the potential motivations behind 3I Atlas. Why would an advanced civilization send probes across the galaxy? The most likely explanation is scientific curiosity. Just as we send probes to explore our solar system, they might be exploring the galaxy. But there are other possibilities. Resource mapping, threat assessment, even preparation for colonization. We simply don't know enough to rule anything out. What fascinates me most is the engineering required to keep a probe functional for what could be millions of years. The object would need to be completely autonomous, capable of repairing itself, adapting to new situations, making decisions without input from its creators. This implies artificial intelligence far beyond anything we've created. An AI that could be millions of years old, carrying out a mission assigned to it before human civilization even existed. I've asked the quantum AI to model what such an intelligence might be like. The results are both fascinating and terrifying. An AI operating on those timescales would think differently than us. Our entire history would be a brief moment to it. It might not even perceive us as conscious beings, just as we don't necessarily see bacteria as having thoughts or intentions. This cognitive gap could make communication nearly impossible. But there's also hope in the data. The fact that 3I Atlas is adjusting its trajectory suggests it's responding to something, possibly to us. If it's steering toward Earth deliberately, that means it considers us worth investigating. That means we've passed some threshold of significance in its assessment protocols. We're not just background noise. We're a signal worth examining more closely. The quantum AI calculated the energy requirements for 3I Atlas's journey. Even with the most efficient propulsion systems we can imagine, the object would have needed an initial energy input equivalent to a significant fraction of its home star's total output. We're talking about the ability to harness stellar energy on scales we can barely comprehend. This reinforces my belief that we're dealing with a Type II civilization on the Kardashev scale. I've also been thinking about what happens if 3I Atlas does settle into orbit and begins active observation. What will it see when it looks at Earth? A species on the verge of either transcendence or self-destruction. A civilization wrestling with climate change, nuclear weapons, artificial intelligence, genetic engineering. We're at a critical juncture in our development. Perhaps that's why 3I Atlas is here now. Perhaps it's been programmed to watch for civilizations at this exact stage of development. The quantum AI suggested another possibility that I find deeply unsettling. What if 3I Atlas isn't just observing? What if it's testing? Throughout history, humanity has faced unexplained phenomena, UAPs, mysterious signals, unexplained technological leaps. What if some of these were tests administered by probes like 3I Atlas? Tests to see how we respond to the unknown. Tests to measure our scientific capabilities. Tests to determine if we're ready for contact. My colleagues think I'm getting ahead of myself. They urge caution in my interpretations. But the data speaks for itself. When you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. And the truth is that 3I Atlas exhibits characteristics inconsistent with natural formation. The truth is that its behavior suggests intelligence and purpose. The truth is that we are very likely being watched by something far more advanced than ourselves. I've instructed my team to prepare multiple research proposals. We need funding for extended observation. We need to build new instruments capable of detecting similar objects earlier. We need to establish international protocols for what happens if and when we confirm artificial origins. This isn't just about 3I Atlas anymore. This is about preparing humanity for a new reality. The quantum AI continues running simulations. It's now modeling potential communication strategies. If 3I Atlas is intelligent and wants to make contact, how would it do so? The AI suggests we should look for mathematical sequences in any signals we detect. Prime numbers, the Fibonacci sequence, fundamental constants of physics, universal languages that any technological civilization would recognize. But what keeps me awake isn't the question of how they might communicate. It's the question of what they might say. Are they friendly explorers, eager to share knowledge? Are they indifferent scientists, collecting data without regard for the subjects they study? Or are they something else entirely, something we can't predict or prepare for? The quantum AI can't answer these questions. Only time will tell. As I look at the latest data streaming in from our telescopes, I feel a mixture of excitement and dread. Excitement because I might be witnessing the confirmation of extraterrestrial intelligence. Dread because I don't know what that confirmation means for humanity's future. Are we ready for this? Can any civilization truly be ready for first contact? The quantum AI has given us a gift. It's allowed us to see what we couldn't see before, to understand what seemed random and meaningless. But with that gift comes responsibility. We now know something that changes everything, and we have to decide what to do with that knowledge. Do we share it with the world immediately? Do we wait for more confirmation? Do we prepare quietly while the public remains unaware? I've made my decision. The world deserves to know. Humanity deserves to understand that we might not be alone. That something extraordinary is happening right now in our solar system, possibly for the first time in recorded history. The age of cosmic isolation might be ending. The age of galactic civilization might be beginning, and it's starting with 3I Atlas. Everything changes in 6 months. Everything changes when we finally know the truth.